Hi, this is Mystery Box, and I'm going to describe another Derren Brown video. This one called Derren Brown Instant Conversion. It's a long video in two parts. I'm only going to describe some of the aspects of the second part. If you notice, the person that posted it has a list of his description of some of the things that are going on. I recommend you read that as well as watch both videos first. I'm going to focus on some of the hypnotic aspects only and skip a lot of it because this is really long. That and it's edited, so it's not like I could go through and say exactly what's happening. It's really hard to tell what's happening because of the editing. Okay, so to start, in my view, this whole sequence runs just like a stage hypnotist show. I think that's because what it is. Again, I don't know exactly how Derren Brown does this. I'm not an expert, but in my opinion, this is a hypnotist stage show. The first part of the video, which I'm not going to cover, follows the hypnotist stage show pretty closely. There's an initial culling of the audience. This audience has been brought in by an ad to, see a spiritual show. This is similar to people that go to see a hypnotist show. When people go to a hypnotist show, they know what it is they're going to see and they have an expectation. And some of the people are even set up that maybe they might go on stage and they're actually in a mood to be hypnotized. It's the same sort of thing that's going on here. Some people are going to be suggestive and susceptible to suggestion. Other ones won't be. It won't be the whole crowd. And at the end of the part one, you actually see that the audience is actually culled down. The people that are not comfortable with the sorts of emotions that he's pulling out of this one woman in the audience leave. In a hypnotist show, they would stay and watch the show because it's there for entertainment. This is a hypnotist show where it's trying to appear as a conversion or a ministry sort of thing, and it's not necessarily a fun thing to sit through if you're not in tune with the emotions. So the woman in the first part that he hypnotizes, and he doesn't hypnotize her exactly. I don't see anything specifically where he's going out and hypnotizing her. Instead, what he's doing is he's looking at his audience. There's already all the suggestive stuff which you can read about in the sidebar that's set up. They've all been told what to expect, and he can look out over the crowd as a hypnotist and tell which people are in more of a suggestive state than others. And he can pick one of those people that's in a suggestive state, go up to touch her, he'd say very little, he just says still skeptical, and then the emotions come out. If that wasn't enough, he could have gone to somebody else. And maybe he did, because we can't tell from the editing. At any rate, she describes all this stuff. It puts some of the crowd deeper into a suggestive state and alienates the rest of the crowd who leaves. So we end up with about half the people leaving. The number of people that can be hypnotized in a stage hypnotist show, rule of thumb, is something like 20%. So he got a 50%, which says he's a pretty good hypnotist right there. Okay, so now the people that are left have been really cold. They've come in there on their own accord. They've been told what to expect. They've already seen this emotional thing from this woman and apparently a touch conversion. And now he's going to come up and pull somebody out of the audience and do a classic induction on them. It's called a fallback induction. So he talks to this guy who's an atheist and doesn't have any beliefs. That's sort of unimportant. It doesn't really matter because once he gets him more induced into hypnosis, he can give him suggestions on how to feel. And that's basically what he does to everybody.
Okay. Alright. Are you happy for me to try this with you?
So he pulls him up.
Yeah, okay. Can you just come over here for me? If you just stand there for me, but face, you just put your... Yeah. Okay, just put your feet together for me.
As the man put his feet together, that puts him slightly off balance. It's difficult to stand with your feet together. It's not falling over or anything, but it's a suggestion that you're unbalanced.
I want you to know you're not going to hurt yourself or anything like that, alright? So we'll catch you when this happens.
He tells him, you're not going to get hurt, I will catch you when this happens. He's telling him he's going to fall back. He's putting that suggestion on him.
Just want you to face that way and just let whatever happens happen.
Let whatever happens happens. he says, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do, but he already did tell him what he's going to do. This is really good. And he falls back. Now, I don't have enough experience with actual fallback inductions, especially of that nature, where you're behind the guy and he doesn't necessarily see you, and you induce. If you get a book on stage hypnosis, or you watch some videos on hypnosis, this, although striking here, is actually common. You can see videos on psychic punches, where people will go down from, just movements. A particular stage hypnosis book that I know of talks about doing this type of thing, that once you're in tune with your audience, you can actually cause the fallback induction while you're not looking at them, because there's a connection. And again, the subconscious is picking up on what's happening and knows what it's being asked to do and just does it. It's sort of hard to believe. If you're a skeptic, this is really hard to believe, but this is not uncommon. This is a psychological phenomenon. You can see people do it. You can go to a hypnotist show and see it done to a dozen people. You can get books and read details on how to do it. Try to do it yourself.
Okay.
So now the guy was already hypnotized. This fallback induction puts him deeper under, and now he's going to do a chair fallback, what's called a chair fallback induction, on the rest of the audience. The audience is still highly suggestible. The ones that were not suggestible have already left. So these ones are going to stand up. He's going to drop more suggestions on them. He's going to be talking about feeling the spirit, feeling it against you, feeling it going into you. He's going to make a lot of suggestions that are going to suggest that they also do this fallback that they just observed. Because everybody just saw this and it affects them. So let me skip forward to where he does a fallback on the whole audience.
Okay.
Oh,
So
actually first, now that he's put this guy down in a fallback, he interviews him and basically suggests that now he has these feelings that maybe there is a God, which, if this was a stage hypnotist show, he could have had the guy stand up and quack like a duck, or do all kinds of crazy stuff, because the guy is now in a very suggestible state.
you're saying you are now ready to accept the idea that there's a God that you wouldn't be prepared to accept beforehand? I'm not putting words in your mouth. I just want you to clarify for me.
I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I am putting words in your mouth. I like that. Okay, so now he's going to do the same thing to the whole crowd.
God feelings?
Okay, so he pulls them,
It's one of you.
and right now they don't believe in God. That's fine, because he hasn't given them the suggestion to believe in God yet. That's what's coming up now. But this entire crowd is already very suggestible, and he's about to make them go a lot deeper with a fallback induction, a chair fallback.
Apart from the people I just spoke to, so yeah, all right. Thank you. Now put your feet together.
So he hasn't put their feet together again.
Close your eyes for me.
Puts them
There
off
is something
balance.
here in this room. There is something here.
There's something
As I
here.
talk to you now, I want you, whatever you imagine there, whatever that spirit is, just to feel it in this room.
Feel the spirit.
A pressure moving into you.
A pressure moving into you,
Moving into you around your heart,
against you,
chest and shoulders, against your face and your eyes.
against you. So he's making these suggestions that are going to have him do the fallback. Let's keep going.
And as I talk to you, I want you to feel that moving into you. And not to fight it, but to welcome it, and to embrace it, to allow it to move you and whatever.
Yeah, embrace it. So whether there's a God or not doesn't really matter. He's telling these people to actually feel an emotional experience, to actually feel things pushing on them, and as they're suggestible, they will actually feel these things. The mistake is that he tells them that this is God and not, again, a psychological phenomenon. It's just their feelings that he's essentially manipulating.
Put away. And as I talk to you, just let that get stronger, let that feeling get stronger and stronger, and really feel it now, just moving into you, moving into you. One at a time.
And they'll go down.
Just embrace it, just let it fall in. Good. Do you believe in God now? Yes, nice and clear. Do you believe in God? Yeah, nice and clear.
That's it. Now they all believe in God. I'm out of time. Thanks. That's it.